But is abstract, meaning she's non-physical. Here, I'll send the
W.
scans and shit. I mean, you agree or
Yeah, it shouldn't be that relevant. I can agree to that.
okay, cool. And
Do you just
then
mean she's non-material?
yeah, like she has no physical like, or well, she has a physical form, but like her conceptual form doesn't exist in space like at all. Like it doesn't occupy space at all.
Okay, does it qualitatively transcend space, or is it just separate from?
No, it's just separate from space.
Okay, just separate from. Good
Yeah.
point.
Um. What else? Bro, I feel like, oh my, I feel like, all right, Garrett, and then yeah, what's his name? She's eternal and exists throughout all points in time, like her physical form.
Okay, that's
Um,
fine.
oh, okay, and then she's what's it called? Universal in AP. So you agree?
Oh, she's universal.
Yeah, in AP. So
Wait,
pretty much she's just
I
gonna go
thought
back in time and just kill your
you want to
baby
switch
version of
characters
your
because
character.
Giratina's like casually out of her. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, you want to switch characters or you want me to switch
I'm
characters?
asking if
I
you
mean,
want to switch characters because
oh, okay.
Giratina's casually
Actually,
out of her. So.
I'll use voice shiki.
Okay, yeah, use somebody
Wait,
who's at least out of her.
he just conceded. He just
Bro,
conceded.
bro, I'm not like nigga. I don't have any other like Madoka shit. Yeah, I'll use voice shiki. I need to
Okay,
find the skins real quick. But she's
no, that's fine.
omnipotent. So yeah, I mean
Omnipotent?
you gonna yeah yeah like
Like,
you ain't gonna
wait,
like
in
you
what
ain't
sense of
gonna
the word?
like she can do anything logically possible.
Anything
I can't
logically
find the
possible?
fucking skin.
Fine,
Yeah.
Giratina is logically impossible as a being. It's paralogical. Or what is the word
What?
exactly? It's paraconsistent logic,
Paralogical?
I believe it is. Yeah, I think it's called
Oh,
paraconsistent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So you agree that my character is omnipotent?
I mean, I suppose so. I'm just saying,
Or
steel manning that your character can do all logically possible things. Giratina's not even bound by logically possible things.
okay. Wait. Can you even send the scan that says that he's illogical?
I can send you the scan of the guy who invented Giratina, saying that Giratina exists and does not exist at the same time.
Oh,
Hold on, let
bro.
me get that.
Okay. Yeah, you can send the scan saying that the
Yeah, so I'm sending it in scans right now. This is by Junichi Masuda. This is the series developer for Platinum, which is where Giratina made its introduction, and he invented it. So this is talking about the nature by which This is talking about. I'll be more specific. The context of this is Garatina's realm is called the Distortion World. Garatina essentially is the Distortion World. The Distortion World is just the antimatter world, and Garatina is the concept of antimatter. And it exists and does not exist at the same time. It only exists in the
Yeah.
sense that you're perceiving, but it's not real.
Okay. Wait. That's not illogical. That's not a contradiction. It just means that it doesn't
Literally P
exist.
and not P.
It's not because no, like you just said, it's a distortion. So it exists as a distortion, but it doesn't exist as equal as like me and you because we're not distortions. We're real
I
things.
don't know what
So
you mean by it
Giratina,
exists as a distortion. I'm just saying P and not P is
that's what
affirmed by
did
the
is that
creator of
not what you just said?
Garatina.
You said hold on, okay, I'm confused.
It
So is
both exists and
Giratina
does not
not
exist. It is
the
P and not P.
I
What
know,
part
but I'm
about this?
saying I get that, but that can be via context. What they mean by exist can differ. I'm saying they may not exist as something like me and you or like an apple or something because Giratina is a distortion. You just said that. Or okay,
It
is he
doesn't
a
say. Hold
distortion
on.
or is he,
Just inserting
like
imaginary context. Wait, prove it means that. It doesn't say it exists in a way
that's what
different from
you
how you
said.
exist.
What?
Hold on. Hold on. It doesn't say, because you're just making up context. The words do not say that. The words on the screen do not
Oh
say,
my god.
oh, Garatina just has a different type of existence from us. It says it literally both exists, which is to say that it is, and then it does not exist, which is to say it is not. Same time,
It, it
simultaneously.
kind of does. And
Logical.
the scan it says the mountain. It gives an analogy. It says the mountain exists on the lake through human eyes, but it's only a reflection. It doesn't exist. It's
That's not
saying
an
that the
analogy. That's
percept.
literally the mountain. That's not an analogy. That's literally the
What?
mountain. There's literally a mountain that it's referring to. I can show it to you. I can send that
What
scan
the
as
fuck?
yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
referencing this
I,
mountain right here. It's
like,
referencing Mountain Fuji, and I can send
like
another scan to give
what?
further context. Mount Fuji is literally like it's referencing a real mountain in Pokemon, and this world exists on the opposite reverse side of it. So that it's not a
What?
metaphor. It's just referencing that mountain.
Okay, so it's not a metaphor, it's an actual mountain Okay,
Yes.
so it's saying the mountain exists on the lake through human eyes, but it's only a reflection and doesn't exist.
But it
Okay.
literally exists as well. Like we interact with, we go to the other world, we interact with Giratina. It's tangible, but it's also not tangible at the same time. Exists and does not exist. I'm very
What
confused.
the
Like this is a
fuck?
very straightforward scan of the inventor of the character telling you that it's
Hold
not
on,
logical.
let me read this. The mountain exists on the lake and through human eyes, but it only a reflection. It doesn't exist as a impressed for the ingredients. Okay, wait, hold on. So one, this still isn't okay. Again, like I was saying, okay, so yeah, okay, so I'm so bro, you're gonna have to send more context about this mountain shit.
Is
I
this
don't get it, bro.
confusing?
I'm
What
so
part of
fucking
this is
confused.
confusing? What part of
Because
not
it says that it's a reflection, but then it also doesn't. I mean, obviously that's your point, but I'm saying like when it says it doesn't exist, what I was saying earlier could still still kind of apply. It can it exist as in like because like you said, giratina is some sort of distortion thing. Giratina or
What,
this reflection can be a distortion that what is he
do you
not
even know what
distortion?
distortion
Like
in
is
this
that
context means? Are you familiar with
I'm
why they
just
use
using the normal term like the normal definition of
the
distortion.
reason they use
So
the term distortion is because it's based upon the concept of antimatter, which is the inversion
and
of space and time within the regular creation. That's why it's saying things like reflection. That's why it's an inversion or a distortion. The anti-world is meant to represent the opposite, polar reflection, of the real world. That has no bearing on the ontology of it, which, but again, confirmed by the creator of it, the series developer and the series director during the times that these were made, who was confirming that it both exists and does not exist at the same time.
okay, so when you're saying in this giratina is in this distortion world or is this distortion, you're not using it in the normal way. You're talking about antimatter.
That's the way that distortion is used. Yes, that's what it means.
Okay, so when it says that it doesn't exist, that can be in reference to the antimatter.
What does that even mean?
Because
Like, what do you? Can you elaborate on that?
you said yeah, so in the you said that in the games we literally go into this world that quote unquote doesn't exist or something, right? Or
That
are you talking
exists
about
and
something
doesn't
else?
exist at the same time. Yes.
Okay, so it could be that in like the normal Pokemon world that's filled with normal matter, obviously this world doesn't exist. But once you go into this weird antimatter world, obviously it does exist. So
Do
in
you
the
have proof
normal
for this?
world, we only see based off the fact that you literally go to the
Are you just
fucking
making
world,
shit up, or do you
meaning
have
it
proof
had.
to?
I'm not making shit up. I'm using what
You're
you
literally
said.
saying it could just be based on what? What is your basis for it could just be
Yeah,
that?
it's based on the fact that you're literally going to the world in the games.
What, the fact that you go to the world in the games proves that it doesn't
Yes.
both exist and not exist at the same time. What?
Yes, it
Why?
means that it concretely exists.
What? Why? Based on what?
Okay. Oh my
Because
god.
you can go
Because
to it. Why would the characters
yes,
not also outside of the logic of?
yes. Wait, you said what?
I said that's fine that the characters could be like exist in the same sort of paralogical state. I don't understand this assumption that because the
Paralogical? What do
characters,
you mean when you're saying paralogical?
yeah, when I say like paraconsistent logic or outside of classical logic, like the characters
Oh
can
my
exist
god.
in the state as well. In fact, they sort of have to because they do combat with Garatina. You seem to be presupposing that the fact that they can go to this world invalidates the statement by the creator that it exists and does not exist at the
No, I'm
same
not
time.
saying.
I'm saying there's nothing to justify that. You're just assuming that because it
No,
benefits your
no, I'm
argument.
not invalidating the statement. I'm saying the statement is fine. I'm just contextualizing what it's saying when it says doesn't exist,
You don't
and I'm
even know the
taking
context.
apart. I, I'm using the context you've given me. What are you talking about? And
But
I'm
none of the
saying
context
that
that I've
based.
given you, you're not citing any of it to justify this idea that what I'm saying is contradicted, not true. You're not basing it in any sort of text. Like sixth grade English
Yeah,
class, the
dude.
first thing you're taught is
Oh
if
my
you're going to
god.
give an interpretation, base it off the text. My
Yeah,
text
I
is based on
know.
the
I'm
explicit
basing it off
language of
the
the
fact that
creator.
it
What
says
is
it's a
yours off?
reflection. It's saying that it's a reflection, but it doesn't exist. The reason why it says it doesn't exist is because it's a world filled with antimatter, which is the
Yeah,
opposite
find me
of
a
normal
statement for
matter.
that. Find me a statement that
That's
proves
what
that.
you said, nigga. What,
That's
bro?
not what
Wait,
I said. What the
what?
fuck?
What are
The
you talking
antimatter
about?
world just exists and doesn't exist at the same time. Find me a statement that what he secretly means.
Okay.
He's speaking in
Oh
code here. What he secretly means is, when I say it doesn't exist and does exist at the same time, I really just mean that as a metaphor for how the anti-world doesn't exist to our world.
okay,
Nigga,
dude.
that's not what the statement says.
Okay, is the author not talking about the games, bro? It's not. Is he not talking about
Yes,
like
he's talking
this
about the
character?
games.
Okay, so I can bring up shit in the games to contextualize what he's talking about. What are
Do
we
you think I
talking
was
about?
telling you that you couldn't? Wait, I'm confused. What do you think I'm saying
Well,
right
I don't know, bro. You're just saying. I don't know. You're talking about contradictory bullshit. Like I don't. I'm confused. That's what I'm saying. I'm just
now?
saying. You
Let's
said
go
with
back.
your own. You just said that there's an actual mountain and there's a reflection in this mountain. But we go to this world, this antimatter world
Yep.
where Giratina resides in. Okay, I'm saying the reason why it says it's a reflection but it doesn't exist is
Mm.
because in respects to the normal world it does not exist because the world is filled with antimatter. It's an antimatter
Yeah, what
world.
is that based on? What statement confirms that interpretation? Remind me what.
Did you not just say that when we go to go to the world, it's filled with antimatter? Did you not just say that Giratina
How
is
does that
antimatter
invalidate
and
the
he's
argument?
the world?
That
It's
like
not.
none of that correlates whatsoever. It's a complete non sequitur.
So you think?
Let's go back to because you just admitted that you were lost, right? Which is fine. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. Maybe there's some sort of tracking issue I caught. Let's go back to the statement in particular is just that the antimatter world both exists and does not exist at the same time. It is affirming P and not now you seem to be saying that it's actually just some sort of metaphor for how it's a reflection of the real world and it doesn't exist in our real world. To be clear, it doesn't say it doesn't exist in our real world. It
I
says it
didn't say
doesn't
that.
exist. Period. Okay? And to be clear, this
That's what
statement
I
is
said.
consistent with the fact that antimatter is a part, and I can send this kid as well. It's a part of what is considered to be all of creation. So when we say it doesn't exist within the context of all of creation, it still fits. That still makes sense. I can
Okay.
send those scans. Hold on.
Okay. So one,
Sending
I
them right
don't.
now. So it's antimatter is literally recognized as a part of creation. So it exists and does not exist
According
within
to
creation.
an ancient. Yeah,
Or the world rather.
yeah,
Whatever.
I do agree that the antimatter is. Hold on.
Like it's a part of the cosmology of the verse.
Yeah, yeah, I
Not a
agree with
metaphor.
that. I'm not saying it's a metaphor. So one, it doesn't even say it doesn't exist in but and it does exist at the same time. It says it doesn't exist but it does. And then it talks about the mountain and how there's a reflection and it doesn't exist. And then it says it's a diverse world. I'm saying that in the world, the normal Pokemon world, which has normal matter and space and time and bush and whatever, this thing does not exist. The only thing that does exist is the reflection. But like you said, we actually do go
I
to
just
this
sent you
world.
scans. I just sent you
Yeah,
scans as a
I
part
know
of the
this.
world. You can
The truth.
justify this distinction you're making, or we can move on. Because you're just, I get it. You don't know Pokemon
Uh,
like that. It doesn't mean you have to just like make things up.
Another word. It's okay. So I know it says it calls it talks about the world, but in that context, it's just talking about all of creation. It's literally talking about Arceus and the shit he's created. But in the second scan that you just sent, it also calls it another world. It literally says another world. The torn world is waiting for you.
Oh my
Ruled by
goodness.
a new concept that is neither
Yeah, but
time
this is
nor
not a
space.
part of the interview that I sent. The interview that I sent is not making this
Mm,
distinction between the foreign world and between the quote
yes, it
unquote
does.
regular. No, it doesn't. What are you talking about?
Why not? Why is it not? Like, where in
Why
the thing?
not? Why not?
Yes.
Hold on. I'll read it out loud for everybody. Yes, it exists. It exists. Sorry. Yes, it exists, but it actually doesn't. It doesn't exist, but it does. That sort of thing. The mountain exists on the lake through human eyes, but it's only a reflection and doesn't exist. It's a diverse world. You see it only because you were looking at it with your eyes. I mean, blah, 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 blah. Nothing in here makes this imaginary, arbitrary distinction you're making and says, oh, when we're talking about the cosmology of the world, we're secretly not including the antimatter world. This is an interview talking about, and I can link the entire interview to you, talking about the cosmology of Pokemon, talking about the roles that the gods play in the Pokemon cosmology, talking about what they symbolize. These distinctions don't exist. You want the article? You can read through it and find something to debunk me on. I'll give you the entire context.
It gives the distinction in your second scan. It calls it another world.
Second scan is not a part of the interview. That's not from the interview. That's from some
I
fucking
don't care. I'm
Nintendo
saying
guy that
that
came
in
out
the
to.
games they refer to these
What?
things as two different worlds, dude. So if
That's
the
not even.
first interview what? Huh? So wait,
You
what?
think
The
that
second scan is not talking about the games? The interview is talking about the games. It's talking about Garatina and his bullshit. I'm saying
interview?
in the second
I can link you the
what?
full interview. Hold on. You're
You
confused.
can send me the fucking interview, but in the fucking scan, it quite literally just says pretty sure it talks about platinum when it says and incorporate them into platinum. Are they not talking about the game platinum? Like The Pokemon game?
Nigga, they're talking about the game. Whether or not they're talking about the game
Thank
isn't in
you.
question. What's in question is whether or not they're making the same distinction you are. The antimatter world is like another world or a separate cosmology from the main world, when despite the fact that in the games it's treated as a part of the world, treated as a part of
No, it's
creation.
not. No, it's
Interview.
not. That's
It
just
is. Oh, so you're gonna lie about the second
are
pair
you
of scan? That's fine. We'll
you want
read
to
them
read
out
the
loud.
second
According
let's
to an
read the
ancient
second.
document, time, space, and antimatter are what combined we call the world. What distinction does that make between the world, our world, and the
Okay.
antimatter world? It's all the
So,
same.
right, world can be applied to different contexts. When you say the term world, that can be used in different ways depending on the scenario. So, in this
What is
scenario where
the
he's
world?
talking to, hold on, chill. In the scenario where he's talking to Arceus, which I'm pretty sure you said before, created all of creation. Obviously, when they're going to be talking about the world, they're going to be just talking about like reality in general and all of the things that are created. But I'm saying in the second scan, we can read it together. It says something unusual is happening on the top of Mount Tegan,
Second scan isn't
which
where they say
rises
that
in
it
the
does
center
exist and
of
doesn't
Sinnoh
exist.
region.
Does not
Another
matter.
world. It calls it another world. It says it in your
That's
second
not the
scan.
context where they say it does and doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter. You're saying because
You need
the
to prove
context of
that.
this
You need to
statement,
prove that.
I need to
Where?
prove that two different
Yes.
contexts and two different articles talking about two different things don't implicate each other. You're making the claim that they do. Go ahead and prove it. You're shifting the
No,
burden.
no, I've
You're
already.
literally
Okay,
shifting the burden. Prove
I'm
that.
not shaking the burden, but two, I've already proven it. I've already given you the
What?
correlation. The correlation, yeah, calm down.
Okay.
The correlation, calm down, is that in the first scan it says the mountain exists on the lake. You just told me that in the second scan that is the mountain on the lake. So yes, the nigga, the
Oh my
interviewer in the
god.
fucking scan is talking about the mountain on the lake. He's calling the mountain on the lake and what it
Let me just get the full interview
represents
because you're
is a
lost.
whole
Let
nother
me just
world,
get the full interview because
bro,
you're lost. Hold on.
bro.
It's
Oh my
actually
god.
embarrassing.
How is it? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Because again, you're for whatever reason, and you're shifting the burden and pretending that you're not, which is kind of cowardly, but we'll
No.
move past it. You're trying to say that the context with which the lead developer and creator of Giratina is talking about it in a separate interview is the equivalent context of them describing the Torn world and
Bro.
metaphorizing it into a mountain reflected on a lake. Okay,
No.
you're saying
No. I
these are
know.
the same context, that the contexts implicate each other. I'm telling you they don't, and I'm telling you this distinction is never made in the interview that I'm citing, and I'm going to show you that right now. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Hold
The
up.
distinction doesn't need to be verbatimly said in the interview. If we know that the interview is in reference to the games and the games do make that difference, then it really doesn't matter. I've already, and I
This
don't know
is
why you
not
keep
the
saying
second screenshot
and
isn't from the
hold on,
game.
chill. I'm not done. And I don't know why you keep
Oh
saying
my
I'm burden
god.
shifting. I fulfilled the burden already. So like I've already
Okay.
given you the correlation between the first interview and the
Right.
fucking second scan. You did it too. You're the one who brought up the second scan, not me, nigga. You're the one
Well, I'm
saying
sorry
that
you
when
didn't
they were
understand
talking
the
about the
purpose of
mount.
bringing it up.
You're the one that said that when they're bringing up the mountain in the scan, they're in reference to the shit that you sent in the second scan. That's what you said, not me.
Okay. Again, I'm sorry you misunderstood the purpose of me bringing that scan up. I don't know
Um,
what exactly you're going on about not needing to prove these two differing contexts implicate each other, but like I
I
said,
never said
we'll link the
that.
full interview now. You did, actually.
Bro. Okay,
Let's see.
whatever. If I didn't need
Let me
to, then
find
why
the
did I
section
just do it? Like,
in this article that I'm looking for here.
go ahead.
Okay, so this is retarded. I'm going to show you. So here's more context from the same interview that invalidates everything you were saying, proves that this distinction between these worlds is not made in this interview when the developer is making this statement. So for one, let's see here. Here's the exact same lead director, developer, and creator of Giratina talking. He says, in response to the question, did you have the ideas for Pokemon Platinum in mind while working on Diamond and Pearl? As I had them while developing Diamond and Pearl. Giratina originally embodied the idea of an anti-world, which is a paradox of time and space. It exists in relation to Dialga and Palkia. So again, this is a direct relationship. He's not making a distinction. Dialga and Palkia, again, that refers to time and space within the creation. Giratina refers to antimatter within creation. So just like Cynthia in the earlier screenshot is making no distinction between Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia in reference to what we call the world, Again, this is the developer and director making the same thing here. He's making no distinction. He says it exists specifically in relation to him. This distinction is all in your mind. It's schizophrenic as fuck. Again, last time, and then we can move on. Do you have
Okay.
any sort of evidence whatsoever he's making this distinction when he talks about how these beings impact the cosmology, or is it just coming out of your ass?
Okay. So you're saying, because I was kind of half listening, you were saying that this was a like what like my bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You just what was the general overall point that you were trying to make in
It's
the thing?
literally stated to exist in relation to Dialga and Palkia, who only exist in context of our normal Pokemon world. So the developer is affirming the exact same thing Cynthia is doing in the screenshots right above it.
Okay.
It's
So
not
yeah,
making a
that's
distinction.
fine. So, no, okay. So it is a distinction. It calls it the anti-world, right? Which is verbatim a distinction from the normal world, or at least that's what it seems like. And just because it has a relation between Palkia and Dialga, which are like time and space, does not mean that they're distinct. Because Palkia and what's the other nigga name? Dialga are in relation to each other
Dialga?
as well, and and they're also distinct. One is time, one is space. So you can be different and still be in relation to each other. It's
Oh my
completely fine.
god, kill me. I'm not
What?
saying they're literally the same entities. I'm saying that they exist in relation to each other within the same cosmology. There's no
I'm
distinction made
agreeing
between
to
the
that.
cosmology that they're influencing. Okay, you're making it up. It's literally a non-point.
Okay,
And
I'm
the fact that they say that it embodies an anti-world again does nothing to distinguish it from the fact that within the context of the cosmology, but in the Cynthia screenshot and in these screenshots, they're treating Giratina as an equivalent part of the cosmology as Dialga and Palkia, not a separation, not a distinction.
okay.
Can
You're
we
not
move
getting my
on?
point.
Can we conclude, or do I have to listen to
Yeah,
you make up another
we can
excuse?
conclude
I
after
just
this
imaginary.
because you're not getting okay. But I don't think you're getting my point. My point is not that this is not a
No,
part
I'm
of the
not getting
overall
it.
part.
It doesn't make any sense
Yeah, you're
whatsoever.
not. You know it does. So you're not getting my point at all because my point is so smart and great. So I'm not disagreeing
Cheating.
that. Anyways, I'm not disagreeing that Giratina and whatever is not a part of the overall cosmology. I'm not saying that, and I'm literally agreeing that it is a part of the world when the context or meaning of the word world is in reference to the overall cosmology. But I'm saying that's only being used, or yeah, that's only confirmed. Like that context being given of the term world is only confirmed